Alright, YouTube and Rockstar community, so we have rumors currently that Sony is to blame for the delay of Red Dead Redemption 2 because they don't want to allow cross-platform multiplayer. Now, I want to address really quick the fact that I said it is a rumor. Obviously, there's really never going to be confirmation. Like, Rockstar's never going to come out and say, Sony won't let us do this, and Sony's never really going to admit to, the game got delayed because of us, because we don't want you guys to play with Xbox users. Our article comes from PSU.com, which will be linked below as always. Rockstar Games delayed the Red Dead Redemption 2 release date as it's pushing for Sony to include cross-play functionality in the upcoming action-adventure sequel. That's at least according to fresh rumors posted on Blasting News, who claim that crossplay is a major part in Rockstar's plans for the highly anticipated Wild West title, which hits PS4 and Xbox One in spring 2018. Red Dead Redemption 2 was originally due to ship in fall this year, although Take-Two reckons the delay won't matter all the same. There's no source for Blasting News report, so take it with a grain of salt for the time being. There's been a lot of chatter on Sony's stance on crossplay recently, with the format holder refusing to budge on the matter despite Microsoft opening the gates for Rocket League and Minecraft for crossplay between Xbox One, PC, and Nintendo Switch users. Sony, however, isn't ready to embrace the idea just yet, primarily due to concerns of user safety among young gamers. This is one of the main things I wanted to address with Sony's idea of trying to protect their gamers. Young gamers should not be playing Red Dead Redemption at all. It's a rated M for mature game. I don't know what they consider a young gamer, but anybody below 18 is definitely young and should not be playing the game. Now, I'm not to say that it doesn't happen. I grew up playing mature games and Mom was cool. Young kids will play these games. But if they're trying to protect their users from like the Xbox community, like the Xbox community is like just the worst ever. Like, I know there's like the meme of like you get on Xbox Live and some young kid's gonna call you a fag and say you raped your mom. But like that's online gaming in general. It doesn't matter which platform you're on. People are gonna talk shit. Microsoft has responded to Sony's comments on the matter, suggesting it's unhealthy for the industry as a whole to eschew crossplay between PS4 and Xbox One users. I would love for players on all platforms to stay connected, said Xbox boss Phil Spencer. The fact that somebody would make an assertion that somehow we're not keeping Minecraft players safe, I found not only from a Microsoft perspective, but an industry perspective. I don't know why that has to become the dialogue. That doesn't seem healthy for anyone. And this is what I find interesting. You know, I'm not trying to reignite a console war or anything, but people always talk about the PS4 being better than the Xbox One, and it may be with the way it runs and the graphics and things, but the Sony themselves are holding their players back. We learned from, Fallout and Bethesda, the Sony's trying to protect their player base, not allowing external assets with their mods, having like very shitty fucking mods, and Bethesda's trying to open the door to, the idea of console mods in general. Like, obviously they're doing it for themselves, but this opens the idea of it for every game. There's a good chance we might see other developers follow in Bethesda's footsteps and allow console mods for these games that other people mod. Like, because, obviously Fallout and Elder Scrolls aren't the only games that get modded out there. But Sony's not allowing their players to indulge in that, and it just seems a bit ridiculous. And these days, Microsoft is pushing for cross-platform play, and me personally, as a consumer, why would I want to be on a console that's limited? I understand it might run a little better, have better graphics, but it's limited in what you can do. We can play most of the same games. Obviously, there's exclusives to each console, but we play most of the same games. Why would I want to be limited? Like, I get cross-platform for certain games with Xbox One. Also, with games that have console mods, I get pretty much all the mods I could ever want. Other than, I guess, exclusives, I really don't see the need to want to buy a PS4. And don't get me wrong, I'm not just like sitting here hating on the PlayStation 4. It's a fantastic console. But you, as say a fanboy, a PlayStation fanboy, how can you not be upset that they're limiting? They're not even like asking you, hey, do you want this or do you not want it? They're just limiting what you're allowed to do. And it seems stupid. It's like, why would you do that for your, like, you're already winning the console war, stay ahead because you're putting yourself behind. But if it ever does come out that this game got delayed, Red Dead Redemption 2 was delayed because of Sony not wanting to do cross-platform multiplayer or whatever the case, it's gonna piss me off, dude. And it's gonna make me not want to invest in a Sony console until they eventually change their ways, if they ever even do. Because, again, why would I want to be limited? I was on here bitching, last year before, whenever it was, the Sony fan base couldn't really do shit with Fallout 4 mods. There's a while where we had mods on Xbox, and Sony didn't have them at all. I was advocating for the PlayStation community as an Xbox player, because I want, the entire community, the entire Fallout 4 community, to be able to do all the same shit. It just didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And if PlayStation is now also not wanting cross-platform because they're trying to protect their players, there's no reason for me to ever try to invest in, PlayStation or Sony consoles. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't want you to tell me what I'm allowed to do with the fucking console. Anyways, I've rambled enough. Let me know your thoughts below on this topic, especially if you are part of the PS4 PlayStation, Sony community. What are your thoughts on them telling you what you can and can't do, limiting what you're allowed to do on the console, not having cross-platform? Cross-platform literally just makes sense. Like, they're just burning money not doing this. It's so odd to me, like, how their companies ran. Anyways, if you went on to enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Turn on my notifications. Follow me on Twitter. Links to my social networks are in the description. And in the outro. Later, guys.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake. 'Cause I don't fucking care.